Coming at number 10 we have S-Class Hunter doesn't want to be a villainous princess. This manhwa is about Kim Yi-young, the only S-Class Hunter that survived the 100th floor of the tower that suddenly appeared in Earth. With her last chance to save herself and take revenge for the death of his dead companion, she give her all might to kill the last boss of the floor, thinking that she might come back to the world where she belongs. But to her surprise, she got transmigrated again for the 100th time of her life into a novel where the character she posse's is destined to die because treason. Confused and angry, she find herself locked up into their house's prison after she get accused of kidnapping that saintess and killing her. Her new character as Renee Macias does not have a really good image in the mind of public. She is known as the disgrace and the villainess of the Duke Macias, who is known as the protector of the empire because they produced the sword master of each generation. But the house of Duke Macias is currently facing a ruin because of Renee's image in public and also the fact that they did not produce a sword master in this generation. And to keep her life and live a happy life, Renee decided to step up and show these how a S-Class Hunter does her job from nothing to something. At number 9 we have the male protagonist is in charge of the successor. This manhwa is about Aizal Retalia, a person who transmigrated from the modern world to the world of novel where the earth is destined to be vanished because of the demon, and in order for Aizal to prevent that from happening, she needs money. But one day her father came at home saying that their family has come into bankruptcy that made her as a fallen noble. But the determination that Aizal has never faded, especially when she entered the academy where she gets bullied by the Duke grandson because of her status. But this bullying incident turned out to be a stepping stone for Aizal to grow and learn more about what will happen in the near future. She gets to meet the male lead of the story and also the female lead. But the most important thing that Aizal gets from entering the academy was to be a pupil of the future archmage that will lead the empire for hope. She also getm close to the Duke that made her and her family come from fallen noble to be the one of the most richest family in the empire. This manhwa is a really good one. We get to see a smart kid who roses from rugs to riches. And the fact that we can really see the progress of her success was the best, because mostly of manhwa just skip to this part and just let someone get rich for unknown reason. So if you're looking for a manhwa that could entertain you, then this manhwa might be for you. At number 8 we have The Price Is Your Everything. This manhwa is about Neres, a person who came from a humble family with the eyes of a royal family. Neres is a daughter of a knight with a brain that could compare to an Aristotle in the palace, and with that brain of Neres, she get to experience all the things that she does not imagine she could experience in this life. That includes her death and betrayal from the people who she thought would walk the same path as her. She was killed and used by the royal family, especially her sworn sister Nili. But when Neres' life has comes to end, she suddenly woke by the time when she was living with her mother in countryside. Thinking that this might be the chance for her to play the chess piece and take revenge to all the people who wronged her, she decided to enter the Noble Academy where all nobility is studying from 12 years old to 19 years old. And when the time that Neres gets into the academy, she started her revenge when she meet the person behind all her suffering and downfall from her previous life. With all the things that this person have done to her, she knows how to counter her plan to get her in trouble. This manhwa is a really good one. We get to see a monstrous and cruel young female lead that has a brain of a strong woman who want to take her revenge. Also the fact that the villainess in this manhwa is also not a dumb villainess makes it more interesting. We get to see two female with a brain that makes their head intact with their body. At number 7 we have Cashman of a Ruined Game. This manhwa is about Aruda, a 29-year-old normal office worker who got possessed by a game character she was building. That character is Rude Early Grey, the current top 0.1 player in this kingdom and the best alchemy in the world of magic. She is also a Chable who started from rugs to riches because of her potions that she sells, and in order for her to live her life as it is, she started a mission to make the final boss of the game to be her subordinate and to avoid the upcoming chaos that this guy will bring in the near future. But to her surprise, this guy don't want any connection or event a tiniest care about her and the plan of her being friends with him. So as her first plan didn't land too well, she decided to move on and start her second plan, which is to create her own team that could match up with the final boss when it's time for them to chase him away. This manhwa is really fun to read and it is also funny in the side that she knows what she's doing and the idea of her hiding her identity as a Chable and great alchemist is the best part for me. So if you want a manhwa that could entertain you in every chapter, then this manhwa might be for you. At number 6 we have The Heroine Had an Affair with My Fiancé. This manhwa is about Ciela, a person who came from the modern world and transmigrated into the world of novel where she posse's the character of Ciela. a normal side character and the fiancé of the story's villain. Her plot in this novel was she got cheated on by her husband and got killed after his husband's treason plan got exposed in public. And because she is the wife of a traitor, she also got executed after her husband. But when the soul of a person from the modern world possessed the body of Ciela, she decided to take the male lead instead and broke off her engagement with his current fiancé. And to do that, she put up a plan to make the Saintess and his fiancé had an affair that could free her in that relationship. And when she succeed on doing that, she'll go to the crown prince and ask his hands to be her husband. But that idea is not that easy. Knowing that the crown prince is known as a beast and has a curse that only the Saintess could cure, this manhwa is also giving you that cheating husband type of manhwa. So we'll get to see her Saintess friend and ex-fiancé crawl over their knees to reconnect with her after they realize what they done. I think Ciela might be also getting a power from the gods and be elected as the new Saintess after the Saintess had an affair with her fiancé. At number 5 we have a fortune-telling princess. This manhwa is about Lady Carmilla, the only daughter of the House of Sorful. She was once a foolish girl who got mocked and despised by everyone and her servant. Knowing that she is wicked who make a plan of treason to her family's name in order for her second brother to take over the throne. And the price of what is did was an execution by her own older brother who she thought would at least spare her life in that moment. But when Carmilla opened her eyes, she gasped by a heavy breathing with that strange dream that she's been dreaming for the past years. Thinking that this may be not a dream but a reality that happened into her previous life, and with plan to be saved and live a peaceful life, she started to be the opposite of her previous self and predicted some shocking new to be unfold with the help of her knowledge from before. And also, Carmilla has a secret that no one knows beside herself, and that is she can communicate with a spirit that taught her the things that she need to do in order to be look good on the eyes of people. But beside that character of Carmilla, she also posses a strong opposition that give her power to take over the empire. This manhwa is really good. It's a more of a romance manhwa that the actually action and revenge, but still a best plot and art style. At number 4 we have the new Empress. This manhwa is about Hanyel, a hybrid angle who trained herself for 200 years in order to be despawned into the world of human and fight against demon who tried to take over the humanity. But Hanyel is not a really good angel in term of attached power. She also have the least healing power among the other angle. So for her to be picked as someone who would go into the human world is very small. But to her shock, she was picked by the goddess and got sent into human world to become their new empress. And with a great power that comes with a great responsibility, Hanyel tried her best to despawn peace and freedom into the world of human. This manhwa is a really good manhwa because we get to see a bird that come from egg to a human. I am actually not the type of person who would go for that type of manhwa. But I've real remarried empress and that manhwa changed my mind drastically. So if you want a manhwa with the same plot and genre like the remarried empress, then this manhwa might be for you. At number 3 we have Lady Dragon. This manhwa is about Chen Li Tan, a normal commoner who work as a cook in a small village in the countryside. And a festival happened where the villagers caught a big fish for all the people to eat. He got in charge on taking care of the fish and other duties regarding cooking. But when Chen opened up the fish, he saw a woman sleeping while holding her sword tightly as if that sword hold her life and death. As an act of generosity, Chen brought the girl into his house and let a doctor check into her, saying that the person lying on the bed has no other difficulties or sickness. The doctor decided to take his way home only to realize that the girl is not a normal human, but a spirit that has no contact her and in need of master. Chen on the other has no idea about that and subconsciously named her not knowing the consequence of his action. This manhwa is actually not focused on the female lead, but this manhwa has a really powerful female lead and the facts that this two soul have been together for hundreds of years and always reincarnated and got destined to meet again is giving 7 deadly sins. Overall it's a good manhwa with a really cool art style and fighting plot. At number 2 we have The Baby Isn't Yours. This manhwa is about Kalia Texacate, a mere commoner who got saved by the son of the Duke Simon after she stood up when Simon was in a deep trouble. And as reward, the Duke helps her to be the commander of the Emperor's Knight, and with the time, she got a title as the Empire War Hero while Simon who is her childhood friend is known as the greatest mage of the Empire. And with the new title that they get, they drink and sing until the morning comes where Kalia find herself together with her best friend Simon in the same bed. In a fear of what happened with both of them that night, Kalia runs away from the scene and decided to make a future plan for her and her child, thinking that Simon and his family won't accept her child out of wedlock from a commoner. and so Kalia totally runs away from the kingdom and traveled to find the best place her to stay and her child. But while traveling, she found out that Simon have been finding her since the day that she runs away. She also find out the Simon have been out of his mind for the past days because of what happened. This manhwa is really good. The only thing that I don't like about this is the timeline of Kalia's pregnancy, because Simon already find out the whereabouts of Kalia even before the child was born. At number 1 we have she no longer wields her sword. This manhwa is about Ludia Centrin, a person who swears an oath of the sword to the prince of the kingdom, Prince Frau. She vows to submit herself and protect Prince Frau for the rest of her life. And Ludia's promise was never broken until one mistake was made and she was accused of plotting treason against the empire. Thinking that the prince might save her after all her sacrifice for him, but she saw how the prince took at her as if she's a waste of time. She also see how her fiancé on the prince side smiles when the execution has been decided, and so she gets executed, while on the other side, an accident leads to the loss of Elfreda, the daughter of Count Reinhardt, and Ludia, who thought that she died from the sword of the person she owed her life, takes on a new life with Elfreda's memories and soul embedded in her body. As she wakes up in her new body as Elfreda, she is overwhelmed with divine power she's never felt before, and with that power that she possesses, she plans on taking her revenge to the people who wronged her and make her suffer. And that's all for today's recommendation. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to like and subscribe on my channel. If you have more manhwa recommendation, please let me know on the comment section.